Hi, you're watching AGS TV. I'm Dafydd Edwards.
I'm Morgan Daniel and we're here to answer your top 10 questions. Right, Dan, we're just going to go straight into the first question. So, question number 1, describe yourself in 3 words.
I think that's definitely quite a tough question. I think decisive, competitive, hard-working maybe. What about you?
Big words for you, Dav. Mine would be definitely a team player, ambitious and motivated. Maybe mine.
Who do you feel takes the longest in the shower?
I think definitely Declan Jones. He's trying to make himself look pretty after a game, doing his hair, shaving his legs, getting a full body scrub on and always last out the change room. Who do you think?
I think with regards to that, I think I usually last out the change room, I haven't cleaned it all. I think you've got the likes of Cleanest, pretty boys like Ian Earn, they're always in the shower.
Yeah. Right, Dav, so question number 2, what was your first rugby playing memory?
I think it's back when I was playing for Ty Bach at under 8. It was my first ever game, first tap of the ball. I was a big boy, but I still fancied my chances. I went down the wing and scored in the corner. What about you?
Mine's roughly the same, but I came into rugby quite late, so I started off playing tackling straight away, and it was my first game for the Green Stars under 10s, and I scored my first try against Britain Ferry, so that'll always be a good memory for me growing up.
Out of the team, who do you think is the worst drinker?
The list is endless, really. I think my top 2 would be Yaya and Jeremy and Sam Jones, aka Stella.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's gotta be.
I think there's a few others. I think there's like Keelan McQuaid, not
Yeah.
a good drinker at all.
Rubbish swig. Right, so my third question, toughest opponent you've ever played against?
I think in regards to that, I'll answer 2 questions more or less. Toughest game, I think is definitely Baglan away this season. It was a massive derby and there was a lot riding on it. Obviously we came out with a win, but that was quite a tough game. But in regards to toughest opponent, best team, I think you got the likes of Bonamine and Lacha, 2 massive teams. What about you?
That Baglan game was definitely one of the toughest I've played since playing rugby, but growing up, the likes of the Abercrave, I always used to hate going up to Abercrave. They were always the best side growing up, so mine would be them.
Who uses the most amount of strapping in a game?
Oh, definitely our number 10, Jamie Jones, or Ryan in a close second. Them pair are always injured, and I do feel bad for Chris Higgins or Lee McQuaid when they're strapping them pair up on a Saturday. What about you?
100%. I think just before Christmas, I think you had Ashton with his knee. He needed a lot of strapping. Owen with his thumb. There's quite a few which do use a lot of strapping.
Cost a fortune on tape. So my 4th question is, who's a player that always is the cleanest after a game?
I think it's got to be one of the wingers, either as a sub-winger or one of the starting ones. You got Lewis Francis, he makes the effort, but he's just always clean, and it's the same as whoever comes on the wing, really.
Yeah, I totally agree, or Owen Evans, definitely.
What's the most memorable game you have watched?
Oh, for me growing up, I think Wales in 2015 in the Rugby World Cup when they beat England, and Gareth Davies scored that try in the 70th minute, and then Bigger slotting that kick from the halfway line was probably one of the most inspiring games I've ever watched as a Welsh fan. That's definitely up there. So what would be yours?
I think as a Scarlet fan, I think there's quite a few. Massive one for me, away in Dublin, semi-finals, no away team had ever won the semi-final, and going out there no hope at all, and coming away with the win, like, it was brilliant. Same as the quarterfinals against La Rochelle, massive
That
game.
was incredible. So my final question: who was your or is your rugby playing icon?
I think it's got to be Ken Owens as a fellow hooker and Scarlett.
Sure.
Brilliant. What about you?
It's got to be the greatest of all time for me. An All Black, Dan Carter, legend in his own right. That'd be mine.
Who do you feel is the standout player for the club?
We got a lot of good boys who have shown real talent this year, but for me it goes to a player who has just shown immense commitment on a Tuesday or Thursday and gives 100% on a Saturday. He's not one of the biggest lads on the pitch, but he does have the biggest heart on the pitch, and he is really brave. So for that reason, my player of the team goes to Aaron Leahy.
I think for me, it's probably one which isn't recognised as much. Declan Jones, he's a dog, he's in every rack, he makes tackles. I think there's quite a few in the forwards which definitely up for it with the amount of tackling and dog work they actually do. You've got a few of the backs, you've got like Lewis Francis, Owen Evans, the massive players for our team. That was us answering your top 10 questions. I've been Dafydd Edwards.
I'm Morgan Daniel, and we'll see you next time.